Good afternoon. I'm Noni Carr of Enhanced Life Psychology. My practice is in Paran in Melbourne, and today I would like to talk about mindfulness. And I've just spent the morning doing some letters and some little mindfulness of tea drinking cards for GPs. And as I was doing it, I was thinking that this is something I'd actually like to talk about. I practice mindfulness, not always of breath and of meditation, but I definitely practice mindfulness in my daily life, particularly as I ride my bike and when I'm in other activities. And when I work with clients, I'm often talking about mindfulness, and I often start with after I've got some of their story and developed a little bit of rapport and worked out what they're struggling with. I often talk about mindfulness, and I give them a little bit of information about what it is. That mindfulness is basically, I use John Kabat-Zinn's definition of paying attention on purpose without judgment. And I think mindfulness is just that. It's just paying attention. And so we just notice things and we pay full attention to those things that we're doing, we're engaging in, those activities that we're engaging in. And I think we often forget to do that. But in session, what I start with teaching my clients is a very simple mindfulness of breath. And so I might start with just asking them to turn their attention to their breath and just noticing the sensations that they're experiencing as they breathe. And I guide them through noticing various sensations and just cueing their attention to noticing if their mind is wandering, if they're having thoughts pop into their mind that might be trying to take them away. And I use various analogies like a train, sitting on a train station, or maybe clouds or a balloon, guiding them to notice those thoughts and just gently let go of them. And then I bring their attention back to their sensations of breathing. As we progress, I might bring their attention back to the sensations of sitting in the chair, reminding themselves where they are, and then allowing them to open their eyes when they're ready. Once I've done that, I generally check in with how they experience that. Sometimes they will say that the experience was really difficult for them because their thoughts were just rushing in and they couldn't focus. They couldn't change their focus from the thoughts, that train of thought that was taking them somewhere else, back to just paying attention to the sensation of breathing. So sometimes I might turn that round and say, okay, so let's forget about mindfulness of breath and let's do a mindfulness of activity. So often when I've got to know them a little bit in that first session, I might have found out that maybe they go to the gym, or maybe they enjoy walking or running or something else. And so I explain how they can use mindfulness, paying attention to an activity. And today I decided that it would be something a little bit different to give the GPs an explanation or an opportunity to practice being mindful as they drink a cup of tea, to take that time for themselves, that time out to practice some mindfulness for themselves and pay attention to the experience of firstly making the cup of tea. And I'm sending them a beautiful herbal tea from Pucker Estate, I think it is. And it's about paying attention to the scents, the smell that you might get, the sound of boiling the kettle, the sensation of holding the cup in your hands, noticing the smell, noticing the flavour, the temperature, and taking that time to pay attention and mindfully drinking that cup of tea. And then when they've finished that cup of tea, or when they've had enough of that experience, they can then continue on with their day. So I think if we practice mindfulness, we can learn to dive more deeply and experience more deeply our life. And I know as therapists, as a psychologist myself, I definitely practice mindfulness of attention when I'm with my clients. I'm paying attention to what's happening between me and them in the room at that time. And that helps me to do my job effectively, but it also helps me be there with my client in that moment. So I need to finish up now, but what I'd like to do is to ask you to like this video, like this live stream, or to head on over to my website and have a look. Maybe post a comment. I'm going to be posting this on my professional page, I think, as well as maybe a little bit on my Instagram page. And my website is enhancelife.com.au. And just remember that in my practice, I'm looking to help you find a way of enhancing your life. Thank you very much.